Marion Carlon here, the relationship expert who always keeps it raw and who always keeps it real. I want to thank you guys for joining me here with video number 9 in the series, The 10 Warning Signs of a Troubled Relationship. Whether you are in a significant relationship or you're married, this is video number 9, and the topic is, are you consciously undermining your spouse or significant other? And guys, truth be told, I'm at a very somber state right now because I really didn't want to give this content, not this message. This is what's really stated in a deeper detail in my book, Are You Married to the Right Person, in my audiobook. And there is a version of that in the text version of Are You Married to the Right Person as well, which is coming out later this year. And I really didn't want to give this content to you. However, I just felt spiritually led. It's just heavy on my spirit, and I do believe, and sometimes I get tested myself and I live by that. It's my mantra, it's my trademark message. If you're not giving, you're just not living. I am giving this nugget to you all and this content to you all, with you all, because I want you to really have transformation in your relationship. I really want you to have a sense of awareness and a new sense of being in you really relating to the person that you've fallen in love with, that you may be out of love with, because my whole goal in creating all of this content is to get you both to a place of rekindling, get you both to a place of restoring, and getting you both at a place of retaining your level of love for one another, whether you both choose to be separate or together. The topic of discussion in this video series is, are you consciously undermining your spouse? Are you consciously undermining your spouse? Are you consciously undermining your spouse? Now, husbands, stay with me. Wives, stay with me. Men and women in the significant relationships, stay with me, because you all are very witty, you're very crafty, and you're almost to a point of being a little bit maniacal in how you know how to hurt your spouse. The one person that knows how to hurt you like nobody's business, the one person that can hurt you more than anyone else on the planet, is the person that you've fallen in love with. The person that you literally have fallen in love with, that you've given your vulnerability to. This person can hurt you like nobody's business. This person can crush you. You are in control of your own feelings. Don't get me wrong. You are your own empowerment, okay? You are a responder, not a reactor. But the person that you are in love with, this person knows how to hurt you, and you consciously know how to hurt one another. And I'm going to lay it out how you all do this. I'm calling you out. I'm giving you a right hook, a left hook, a right cross, because this is what you all do, and it plays out like this. First of all, I've talked about in several videos and videos that are on YouTube about using your tone and the art of communication. You normally know how to hurt each other, but you don't do it like this. You're a freaking a-hole. You don't do that anymore. You're a freaking B. If you're using that level of language anyway, you're already in a bad place, but this is how people communicate. Sometimes you both use profanity. You're such a blank blank this. You are such a blank blank that. Sometimes you do the dumbest things. Sometimes you do the most idiotic things, and you decide to verbally abuse each other. Stupid, asinine, constantly taking love deposits out instead of putting love deposits in. This is what I teach. You have to become aware of which one are you doing. Are you taking love deposits out, or are you putting love deposits in? This is how you hurt each other, with taking love deposits out. When you've gotten beyond name calling and verbally abusing one another, you've gotten real crafty now with knowing this person 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. You've built a life around this person, but you haven't gotten to the point of real true power, love, and forgiveness. You haven't forgiven them for how they've hurt you or how you've tried to express how bad you were hurt, and you don't seem like the believability in their level of character and their level of being, that they truly understand how bad you've been hurt. So what you do, because you're holding on to your bitterness and this iniquity, is you consciously undermine them. You don't do it just by name calling and basically calling them a 4-letter word or a 3-letter word. That's simple and simplistic. You're too sophisticated for that now, because you know this person and you know how to hurt this person. This is what you do. This is how it plays out. Let me give you an example of wife to husband, or a female in a relationship with a male. You go out to dinner with your friends, okay, and you explain that your husband takes the time, your significant other takes the time to lay out a level of landscaping for you. And you pick out all the flowers, okay, and you pick your impatiens and begonias, and you pick whether it's the spring or it's the fall. You pick the level of flowers that you want. And you say to your friends, you know what, John, I picked some I always like it when John plants flowers. And I picked some flowers out, and John was in the flower bed, and he always wants to plant flowers for me. But it's really interesting that, you know what, my dad really knew how to plant flowers. My dad all the time knew, when I was living at home with my parents, he specifically arranged each and every flower in such a detail and in such a way where you could see it from any angle of the street. And looking at our house, all the flowers were asymmetrical. They were designed and placed in a way where you could just notice every different impatient or every begonia. You could notice every single individual flower and the color schemes of that flower. And my dad did such a good job. Well, John did, when he plants the flowers, it's so funny, and you laugh. Killing your spouse, but ladies, you do this. He plants the flowers, and you're just kind of everywhere. And I try to tell John how to do it, but he wants to be his own man, and women, we do, and we're trying to give you our best. But it's so funny how you really don't notice the flower difference between an impatient or a begonia, and the way that John arranges the flowers. It's kind of chaotic a little bit, and you're explaining this to your friends. You're at dinner, and you're demeaning John. You're demeaning John. John is getting quiet, okay? He's eating his food, and he's smiling, but deep down inside, you're stabbing him with a fork. You're stabbing him with a knife. This is what we do, ladies and gentlemen. We know how to wittingly and craftily demean our spouses and our significant others in front of other people, because we're hurt. If you're acting and behaving in this level of behavior, your relationship is in some serious trouble, because you're broken and you're taking love deposits out, creating a result that you don't want. Women, you do this kind of thing. You do it because you want to be heard, you want to be understood by your husband, by your significant other. You don't feel like you're hurt, you don't feel like you're understood, so you're hurt, so you hurt. And you demean your spouse in public. John never can really put doors on the right way. He puts on doors, and he does a decent job, but boy, it wasn't like how my dad did it. That door would shut year round. It would never, the way he inserted the door, you could shut it and it would close in the winter and it would close in the summer. It was just exact and precise. When John puts a door in, sometimes, sometimes I don't even know if it's going to close or not, whether it be in the winter or in the summer. It just never really sets right, or I have to overwork the door or lift up the door. Demeaning your spouse. This is what we do. Husbands, you do the same thing. Significant other, men, you do the same things to your wife, where you take the time to you'll be out with your friends, and you'll talk to your significant, you'll talk about your significant other in front of her, and she's sitting right beside you, but and this is what you'll do. You'll address, hey guys, I know Sarah, and Sarah she works out all the time. She has the best body. She does Pilates, she does CrossFit. She's thinking about opening up a yoga studio. This woman eats healthy. She is in her 30s, she's in her 40s, and she looks like she's in her 20s. She looks amazing. She's always eating healthy. She's always wanting to do something. She's even thinking about a triathlon. She's even thinking about, running a half marathon. This is what we do. Wife is sitting right there. But husband, because you're freaking hurt, and you have learned how to really give her a real uppercut and a right cross. You figured this out. You demean her right in front of other people. You demean her by complimenting another woman, by edifying another woman, and she's sitting right there and she's eating slowly. This is what she's doing. And she's smiling. But you are stabbing her. You know you're consciously stabbing her. But you're stabbing her with a fork, or you're jabbing her with a